Neuroscience shows us that relational betrayal activates the same survival pathways that light up during physical threat. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk describes trauma as a wound that reshapes your brain and your body's ability to feel safe. So how exactly does betrayal trauma affect your body? Hey beautiful, are you done with the pain, devastation, and overwhelm that marital betrayal has thrown at you? And you need a real roadmap to recovery. And you also desire to heal God's way. Well, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Lisa, a betrayal trauma and infidelity recovery specialist who went from being crushed and humiliated by my own husband's affair to a global sought-after recovery specialist, helping Christian women and couples just like you heal and recover from the devastation of marital betrayal, all while doing it God's way. Are you ready to dive in? I know I am. So, grab your favorite latte, maybe a glass of wine, snuggle up with your favorite blanket on the couch, and let's focus on you right now. Let's do this, beautiful. Welcome back to the Beauty Beyond Betrayal podcast, and Happy New Year! We are actually in 2026. Can you believe it? That blows my mind. When I just stopped to think, 2026. What? I remember Y2K. I remember 1999 into 2000, and everybody thought the world was going to end. And now we are in 2026. It's just unbelievable. Well, for those of you who are brand new to the Beauty Beyond Betrayal podcast, I want to say welcome. Happy New Year to you as well. My name is Lisa Limehouse. I'm your host. I am a betrayal trauma and infidelity recovery specialist, and I am so honored to have you here with us today. This is the podcast for Christian women and couples who are healing from the devastation of marital betrayal. And I'm glad you found us. I'm so glad you're here. If you've ever wondered anything like, what is wrong with me? Why does my body feel like it's falling apart since discovering his betrayal? This episode is going to bring you some clarity, some validation, and some hope. And I want to get that right off the bat in this new year. Because betrayal doesn't just break your heart, does it, beautiful? Nope. It shocks your nervous system. It rewires your brain. It takes up residence inside your body. And today we're going to talk about why. And more importantly, how you can begin calming a dysregulated nervous system so you can begin to breathe again, think again, and begin your healing journey. So before we dive in, I want to give you a quick reminder. My 6-month Roadmap to Recovery program, it is opening January the 12th. We are launching this baby January the 12th. We do these twice a year. They're 6 months long. And it's just for Christian women inside who are healing from betrayal trauma. And this is our first one of 2026. Our next one will not open until January. Spots are extremely limited, and registration has been open for a couple of weeks. They're filling up quick. So this is the step-by-step faith-based healing journey that has helped countless women rebuild their strength, identity, and emotional stability after betrayal. So if you're ready for real healing and not just survival, beautiful, now's your moment. It's the new year, so we're going to jump in, okay? Down below in the show notes, it says Roadmap to Recovery. There's a little link down there. Click on it. You can grab your spot while they are still available. So I hope you have your pen and paper. That's the drill around here, so that you can take notes. We can dive in together, and we can literally talk about how betrayal trauma impacts your body. So let's do it, okay? When betrayal happens, your body doesn't interpret it as emotional disappointment. Nope. It interprets it as danger, right? Neuroscience shows us that relational betrayal actually activates the same survival pathways that light up during a physical threat. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk describes trauma as, quote, a wound that reshapes your brain and your body's ability to feel safe, end quote. So how exactly does betrayal trauma affect your body? Well, there are 5 major ways, all completely normal, all completely explainable, but they're not fun. So let's look at them. The first one is chronic nervous system hyperarousal. Now, this is actually where your body stays stuck in what's called the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode. And you may experience symptoms like a racing heart. You might have severe digestive issues. Your stomach's just a mess. Insomnia. You're either sleeping too much, not sleeping enough. Then there's hypervigilance, feeling jumpy or easily startled. Your body's what I call quaking or shaking all the time. Why do you feel these things? Well, because your brain's amygdala, which is that alarm center in your brain, gets turned all the way up. Like it's on max. And your prefrontal cortex, which is the logical calming part, well, it gets turned way down, almost completely hijacked. Your body is not malfunctioning. Let me just say that right at the get-go. I know it feels like it is. It feels like it's betrayed you, actually. It's actually trying to protect you. Okay, that's just God's design. So this is normal to have a chronic nervous system hyperarousal when you've experienced betrayal trauma. Then there's number 2, the hormonal disruption. Now, I know many of you are like, are you kidding me? My hormones are a mess anyway. Yeah, I get it. You're talking to a 63-year-old here, and I've gone through all of that, and I do understand it very, very well, but my hormones are finally in tow. They have been for many years now, and I worked very hard to get there. But betrayal trauma sends cortisol and adrenaline surges through your system. It really does, and it can cause major hormonal disruption. So this can lead to exhaustion. And I know many of you are like, Lisa, I can't pick myself up off the floor. I remember quite well when I was exactly where you are. I was so fatigued. I would sleep for 10, 12, 14 hours and wake up like I hadn't slept in a week. Then there's the hair loss. Oh my gosh. I am still trying to get over that one. I had a beautiful head full of locks, curly locks, and it's just not as thick anymore. I wish there was a magic thing that I could use for that, but there's just not. But hair loss, yeah, we experience that when we're going through betrayal trauma. Then there are the weight changes. Now, some of you, it's been a weight gain. I put on 25 plus pounds when I was going through my betrayal journey, and it just wrecked my body. Then for some of you, you've lost a lot of weight because it has affected you in that way. Then there's the irritability, the mood swings, right? All of the hormonal issues. And if you are dealing with perimenopause, premenopause, menopause, postmenopause, all the menopausal humbo jumbo, this is not fun, right? This is just adding on top of it. Your body is living under a constant flood of stress chemicals. And even when you're not actively thinking about the betrayal, because your body keeps the score. And I remember for me, the cortisol levels were sky high. My adrenal shut down. My thyroid just completely tanked. My heart got stressed. And, well, it was a 4-day hospital stay in a cardiac unit. And then I had 8 weeks of bed rest because I couldn't function. This is what it does. It can take a toll on your body. Here's number 3, immune system suppression. Yes, it can actually impact your immune system. I hear many women who end up after suffering from trauma, betrayal trauma, end up with autoimmune disorders. I'm one of them, right? Hashimoto's. Prolonged cortisol elevation actually weakens your immune response. Now, you may notice things like you're more sick. Sickness it's hitting you hard, fast, and quickly. You just got over a cold a month ago, and now you got another one. There's also slower healing. You just don't heal as quickly as you used to, right? I know that was my case. Then there's chronic inflammation. Oh my gosh. And that causes every joint in your body to hurt, every muscle, everything just feels so tender to the touch. And then there's the allergies and the flare-ups. Oh my gosh. That's when I started with, the eyes watering all the time. My sinuses were a wreck. Your body isn't weak. It's actually taxed. It's overwhelmed. Here's number 4. Memory and concentration problems. Trauma can actually temporarily disrupt the hippocampus in your brain, that part of your brain that's responsible for memory and learning. This is why so many of you who have been betrayed say things like, I can't focus. I keep forgetting things. I feel so foggy. This is not a character flaw. It's trauma physiology. It really is. And I suffered from this terribly. I literally tell the story because it actually happened where I was on the phone to my daughter, talking to her. My glasses were on the top of my head and my keys were in my other hand. And I was getting ready to leave to go to her house. And I said, honey, I can't leave yet because I can't find my keys. And where in the world are my glasses? And I was like, you know what? I'll call you back. Let me find my phone. And then all of a sudden I heard my daughter say, Mom, you're on the phone with me. Oh boy, did I realize I was in trouble. That was a wake-up call for me. That was when I recognized that the trauma had really affected me in great ways. Then there's number 5, somatic trauma storage. What in the world is that? Well, your body does keep the score. Your body knows, and it actually keeps a tally. Pain lives where emotions have nowhere to go. So when your emotions are trapped, which is usually in some common areas, your body will get very painful in those areas, and it can actually cause your body to be affected in those areas. So the common areas are usually like chest tightness, stomach knots, shoulder tension, headaches, lower back pain. Your body is literally holding the weight of the betrayal. That's what's going on. So now that you know what is going on with your body, what does Scripture say about all this? Let's take a look at what God has to say, shall we? You see, God has never expected you to just get over it, beautiful. Never, ever does He expect you to just get over this. Actually, in Psalm 34:18, He says, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Crushed in spirit is not just poetic language. It's not. It is physiological collapse. It really is. God acknowledges the impact of betrayal trauma long before neuroscience confirmed it. And Romans 12:2 reminds us that healing requires a renewing of your mind. That's actually a rewiring, a restoration of what trauma has disrupted. Your healing is biblical. Your symptoms are real, and your body is trying to tell you the truth. So I want to give you 3 steps today to begin regulating your dysregulated nervous system. And these are the steps that we take inside of the Roadmap to Recovery. They will begin to help you stabilize today, okay? They're going to give you some stabilization. I want to share a few things with you so you can see what it's like inside of our program. So the first one is ground your body before you try to ground your thoughts. You can't talk yourself out of trauma. There's just no way. Your body has to feel safe first. When your nervous system is overwhelmed, cognitive strategies just will not work. So begin with your body. Now, this can be things like deep from the diaphragm, deep diaphragm breathing. Okay, that can be box breathing. That can be very, very deep breathing. Then there's grounding with your senses. This is the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. This is where you look for 5 things that you can actually see, 4 things that you can actually touch, 3 things that you can actually hear, 2 things you can actually smell, and 1 thing you can actually taste. Then there's the slow exhale practices that calm your vagal nerve. We teach all of those inside of our roadmap to recovery. Just 60 seconds of intentional breathing can lower your cortisol and quiet your amygdala. So with that box breathing, you breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, you hold it for a count of 4, you breathe out through your mouth, exhale through a count of 4, and you hold it for a count of 4. Rest and start over again. Now you can exhale for 6 to 8 seconds if you really want to get all that carbon dioxide, that toxicity out your body. Even elongate that exhale. Very beneficial. Here's number 2. Create predictable rhythms of safety. Now, your brain heals through consistency and predictability. So this is why it's important to start with a morning grounding routine. What does that look like for you? Maybe for you, before you get out of your bed in the morning, you lay in your bed with your head hanging over the side of your bed. Yes, on your back, okay, laid with your head hanging off your bed. Breathing in through your nose and exhaling through your mouth very, very gently for 2 to 3 minutes. Very grounding. Or if you choose, you can step outside in the sunshine, barefoot. I know it's winter where some of you are right now, but if you can do that, great, right? There's something about standing in God's creation. Standing in the sunshine really helps. Then there's regular eating and sleeping rhythms. You need to be on a schedule. This is important to eat regularly throughout an 8-hour window in the day, 3 to 4 meals to balance your cortisol, your blood sugar, all of that. And then also healthy sleeping rhythms, going to sleep at the same time every night, getting up the same time every morning. Even if you have to nap sometimes, that is very beneficial. Gentle daily movement is needed as well. Now, I know some of you sit at a desk, so every hour get up, move. Do 10 squats, right? Just body weight squats. You do that every hour on the hour. It is amazing how it balances your blood sugar and helps to boost your immune system. Not to mention what it does for your quads. Just a little side note there. Then there's limiting emotional triggers while your system stabilizes. So whatever is emotionally triggering you right now, seek to limit those things because your system needs to stabilize. Your nervous system needs structure to stop scanning for danger, and this will help. And here's number 3. Get trauma-trained support and a proven roadmap. Beautiful, trauma doesn't heal through just willpower. It doesn't. It heals through a process. So inside of the Roadmap to Recovery, I walk you through stabilizing your nervous system. You get to understand trauma brain, rebuilding internal safety, processing grief in a biblical way, restoring your identity, trauma-informed boundaries, rewiring thoughts, patterns, and relational responses. All of that and more is inside of that program. Healing is not random. It's intentional. And it's absolutely possible when you have a proven roadmap to follow. So beautiful, if your body feels like it's falling apart, if your mind feels absolutely scrambled, and if your emotions feel out of control, you are not broken. I just want to let you know that. You're traumatized. And trauma can heal when you follow the right steps. So, we have our Roadmap to Recovery program launching January the 12th. And here's the truth. Spots are extremely limited. Doors have been open for a couple weeks. They do close soon. Women are already enrolling. And once the cohort is full, that's it for this round. Another doesn't open until July. And I don't want to see you go through the first 6 months of 2026 stuck in trauma. So if your body is telling you, I can't stay like this, well, this is your invitation from God to take the next step. So go below in the show notes, click on where it says Roadmap to Recovery, and then you can get your spot while they're still available. All right? This is your season to heal, beautiful. Don't wait. Stop waiting. Stop minimizing your pain and realize you can't do this alone. So I would just want to tell you that you do have a way through this. Your body can heal, your mind can renew, and your heart can rebuild. and you're never, ever alone. God is with you, and you've got a sisterhood waiting for you inside of Roadmap to Recovery. And it would be an honor to walk you through your healing journey in 2026. Thank you for being a part of the broadcast today. And if this blessed you, please leave us a 5-star review so that we can continue reaching women all around the world. And see you next time on Beauty Beyond Betrayal. Be blessed. Thanks for stopping by and spending a little time with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's show and you found hope, healing, and encouragement. Please remember to subscribe to my podcast and leave a review. You can even screenshot this episode. You can share it out on Facebook and IG stories. This is how we get the message of hope and healing out to all women and couples who are in need of restoration after betrayal. And if you're ready to move out of that devastation and take the next step in your healing journey, well, make sure to reach out. Schedule your coaching session today. Until next time, love God, live your life passionately, and always choose joy in the midst of any circumstance that you may face. Cheers to you, beautiful.